Real personal growth involves transforming your life into the best version of you. And it requires tools for not just your mind, but also your heart, body, and spirit too. It's about learning how to truly love and value yourself to break free from seeking validation or acceptance or approval from other people so that you can truly shine your brightest. That's what this is all about right here on the Growth Farming Podcast. Welcome to you. I am D. Grant Smith. The Growth Farming Podcast shows you how to grow from within to produce your best life, also healthy and vibrant relationships, career success, and happiness, and a whole lot more. Here's the thing. We have all been conditioned and trained and programmed by society and by culture and by our teachers and our peers and our influencers and just about everywhere you turn. Especially looking across media, you'll see it very clearly. We've all been trained and programmed to chase or seek love, success, acceptance, validation, approval, happiness from other people, from our careers or our jobs, from money, from any other external outlet. But that chasing creates more pain, and it creates more loss, and it creates more feelings of not being good enough and not being worthy. The way we change this, the way we grow from within, is by growing love within ourselves. Because real and lasting love, that's what we all want. And using what you learn here on the Growth Farming Podcast with me, you will attract and foster and grow more love, more happiness, more success, and more wholeness every day. Love is the key. Are you ready to learn something powerful and new today? Winner, let's go. Today we're going to continue putting together our essential growth farming toolkit with some practical and easy stuff that you have access to. At least I hope you do. If you don't, man, we're going to need to send you on a trip somewhere. This is something that most of us, I would say all of us, have access to in some way, and that is nature. So this series that I've been doing over the past few episodes, this Essential Growth Farming Toolkit series, all expands on some very simple and very practical ways for you to grow within into the best version of yourself. But I am going to talk about something that is a little bit more external this time around, but nature. Oh my God, nature's so important in us growing into the best versions of ourselves because we can see in nature what growth is, what it looks like, and especially what it feels like. So, this is something that I have been showcasing a whole lot, again, over the past several episodes. And in these episodes, in this this essential growth farming toolkit, I've included some very just simple, practical things that also have very simple, practical steps. And you can take these simple, practical steps to use these tools in your everyday life on a regular and hopefully daily basis. And by taking action and not just listening to these insights, amazing change is going to happen. If you've been putting these practices into your daily routine, you are experiencing some of this amazing transformation. And I'd really love to listen and hear what your experiences have been. So, if you have done even just 1 or 2 days, hopefully you've done a whole lot longer than that because doing this every day creates massive change. But if you've done even just 1 or 2 days of anything that I've taught in the Essential Growth Farming Toolkit, let me know. I want to hear your story. I want to hear about your transformation. You can do that by connecting with me in all the different places. Email might be the easiest. dgrant@dgrantsmith.com is my email address. So shoot me an email. Let me know how using these tools are changing your life. Now, this is part 4, and walking in nature is the focus of this particular episode. And it is the 4th essential tool in our growth farming toolkit. It allows us to access powerful growth that is already all around us. Now, in the previous episode, I shared with you the power of affirmations to completely transform your life by transforming the way that you think about yourself, which transforms what you believe about yourself, which transforms the experiences that you have. Now, I shared some insights into how affirmations have already had a huge impact on my journey. There are people that have been doing affirmations for decades. I admit I've been about, 4 years maybe into this process. Again, the consistency is such a very big deal. Now, in the last episode, I also gave you some affirmations that you can use to transform your life. If you're hearing me say this and you haven't heard that episode and you're like, dude, what are you talking about? Go back and listen to the previous episode. It's episode 6. It is the Essential Growth Farming Toolkit Part 3. It's all about affirmations. I give you a whole lot of amazing stuff inside that episode. Go check it out. More examples of affirmations and a detailed process of how you can use not just the affirmations, but all the tools that I talk about in this series are also found inside my book, Be Solid, How to Go Through Hell and Come Out Whole. That book is all about learning how to love yourself, especially if you recognize that you have codependent patterns and you have been seeking after other people for validation and acceptance and approval and love, and you want a way out of that. Read my book, Be Solid, How to Go Through Hell and Come Out Whole. You can get that book and a whole bunch of other resources at this website, framework.besolidbook.com. I'll repeat that again later on, but if codependency is something you want freedom from, read my book. I promise you it will help you. All right. So we looked at affirmations before, how you can use those daily, how you can rewrite the inner story that you're telling yourself, rewriting your inner narrative. And in doing so, you change the way that you conceive of your identity, the way that you see yourself. This is also called your self-concept. Now, this time around, we're going to talk about something that is incredibly powerful, also incredibly practical. And the tool here gives you these results: calms your mind, gives you clarity, gives you peace, and gives you direction. It's something that takes absolutely zero intelligence to do. It's walking in nature. That simple. And we can even take it so far as just walking outside. Maybe you live in a town or a city. Maybe you live in a major metropolitan area and you're like, dude, I don't have nature around me. I know that even in New York, is it Central Park? Is that where there's that gigantic park that's just absolutely gorgeous? And every time I watch Sex and the City or Friends, there's some sort of something about that area. Okay, even in a major metropolitan, gigantic place with millions and millions of people, they still have parks. If you can walk out down to a park, it's the same thing, okay? This tool, probably the most simple of all of the tools in the Essential Growth Farming Toolkit, because all you have to do is go outside. Go outside and walk. Now, you can go outside and not walk. You can go outside and go to a park and be in nature and just sit. Do that too. Awesome. Let your full self experience the power and the peace of nature, and embrace the full experience that nature provides. Now, maybe you're asking yourself, or you're thinking about asking me, okay, but what do I do while I'm walking? Well, the full experience is about bringing all 4 parts of your humanness, your beingness, into this present moment. This is your heart, your mind, your body, and your spirit. Now, bringing your full self and being fully present with yourself while you are going for this walk outside in nature, just look around you and pay attention to what you see. Breathe in the air with not soft, shallow breaths. We've done an exercise and meditation on breathing exercises, so I want you to do that in a way while you're going on this walk. Breathe in the air with deep breaths. Breathe in the air with deep breaths. Nature is also a great place to meditate, which, as we've talked about before, meditation is another part of the Essential Growth Farming Toolkit. Now, feel your experience with your senses. Notice the trees. Notice the birds. Notice the sunlight and the clouds. If maybe you are close to the ocean, which if you are, awesome, that's my dream walking area. Notice the waves and the sand and the sounds. Feel the breeze. Be present with nature and also be grateful for it. Now, if you've got a ton of stuff on your mind, sweet. I did just say that. If you've got a lot of stuff on your mind, maybe you're overwhelmed by stuff. Maybe you've got all these projects, or maybe you're having a difficult issue in your relationships. Maybe you're having a difficult time in your relationship with your partner or your spouse or somebody that's really close to you, and this has caused you a lot of stress and a lot of grief. Man, nature is the medicine you are looking for. Because if you've got a lot of stuff on your mind, let the atmosphere of nature help you to let go of everything and surrender it. A moment ago, I said, breathe in your experience, take deep breaths. As you're outside in nature, and maybe there's a gentle wind, or maybe there's a little bit more of an aggressive wind blowing. I say aggressive because I live in West Texas. A 30-mile-an-hour wind is a normal day for us. If you've got a wind that's blowing, imagine your cares being blown away as you feel the breeze. Maybe it's kind of like a delivery person, and they're coming by, and you're like, you know what? I don't want to carry all of this stress and this burden and this tension anymore, so I'm going to let it blow away in the breeze. Just surrender it. Now, ground yourself in the atmosphere of the abundance of nature that's all around you. And I say grounding because grounding is one of the most beautiful and powerful ways for us to let go of things and also to get centered. Now, if you'll notice, on an electrical line, there's a positive and a negative flow of energy. And there's also this one wire. If you've ever had to install a light or a ceiling fan, you know this. Now, I'm not an electrician, and some of these things that I'm giving you and kind of throwing out are my very rudimentary understanding of the way that this stuff works, okay? But there is a grounding wire inside this electrical line. Now, why is that? The grounding wire creates a balanced flow, and our bodies and our minds and our emotions operate in a very similar way. We need to ground ourselves so that we can release emotions and mental energy and be able to foster connection with our source, aka God or Almighty Love. That's my name for God. One of the best places that you can ground yourself is in nature. Now, here are some practical steps for you to take to foster this kind of grounding. If you can find a place to sit down outside in nature, do it. Just sit for a moment. Be present with yourself. Be present with nature. Now, I usually walk down to a park when I go on my walks in the morning time, and I will stop and I'll sit on a little bench and I just observe nature. Now, this observation place is also a great spot to meditate. And again, meditation is the second piece of the Essential Growth Farming Toolkit. You can listen to that in the, I think it's episode 4 of this podcast. Now, the more that you connect with nature and you let go of all the stuff that is taking space inside your mind, the more that you can let go of that, the more freedom that you will feel, and the more grounded you will be. Ground yourself in this amazing way to open up your mind and your heart and your body and your spirit to receive blessings and love and abundance that all await you. It's really that simple, and it's also really that beautiful. So, what have I shared with you today? One of the most powerful and potent and beautiful and wonderful ways to gain peace and clarity and calm, and it takes $0. It takes also very little time, although you can spend more time out there if you want to, and it's a matter of just letting things go and also utilizing some of the other tools that you've gained in this podcast series. Meditation being one. You can also spend time outside in nature, getting grounded and using affirmations. But allowing yourself to be fully present in the moment and also fully grateful for the life that is all around you, because when you're in nature, you are experiencing life in the most natural, beautiful, organic way. Here's an exercise you can do, aside from what I've shared with you right here already. But spend 5 minutes in nature, or maybe 10, but go somewhere where you can sit and you can just observe nature as it is. notice that the trees aren't trying to do anything, they just are. Notice that as the trees just are, all of the beauty that surrounds them, that is attracted to them, the life that is springing forth everywhere, that life includes grass and little flowers and birds that are flying in and out and squirrels that are running around and maybe butterflies. There's all kinds of things you can observe by just looking. But notice nature as it is. Nature has a beautiful and wonderful and harmonious relationship with itself. Trees don't compete with each other. The grass isn't competing with each other. There's harmony there, and there's beauty. And the relationship that all of these plants and all of these animals and all of these living things have with each other and with themselves in this place is such a beautiful picture of tranquility, and it's such a beautiful picture that we can see with our eyes and then imagine taking place inside our hearts and inside our minds and inside our bodies and inside our spirits. Just natural, abundant life taking place with harmony and peace and beauty. So allow your experience in nature to be a picture that you can imagine taking place within yourself. If the picture you're seeing, and hopefully it is, the picture you're seeing as you're sitting in nature is one of beauty and tranquility and peace, take a mental picture of that and bring it into your imagination and imagine your life as this picture of tranquility and peace and beauty and love. It's a beautiful thing. Now, what I would like for you to do, consider this an action item. I want you to put this into play. I want you to spend some time in nature today. And I want you to share with me what you experience. I would really love it if you would share maybe pictures of your nature experience with me. All of us mostly carry phones that have cameras. So take a photo or two. Take a photo with you in nature and send it to me. And feel free to tag me on Facebook or Instagram. My Facebook profile or whatever is at the D Grant Smith. On Instagram, I am at D Grant Smith. So take a photo, post it, and tag me. I would love to see you. Would love to see your experience in nature, and and learn more again from you about how these tools and how these experiences are transforming your life and transforming your mind and your heart and your inner garden to produce more love and more life within you. As I've said before, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with love is the most important relationship that you have. And that is why I do what I do here on the Growth Farming Podcast and all the other places where I put myself out there, because growing love from within has been what's changed my life. And I would love to know how growing love from within is changing your life. And if you want some help growing love from within, I want to be available to you. I am available to you. So connect with me. Once again, the easiest way for you to get a hold of me is through email. My email address is dgrant@dgrantsmith.com. If you want to dig deeper into any of the things that we've talked about here on this podcast episode today, I'm also writing about this on my blog, and my blog is dgrantsmith.com. I mentioned a little while ago that doing this work from within, to grow love from within, is about transforming our lives. Yes, it's also about undoing the ways that we have been conditioned and programmed by our culture and society and teachers and institutions and school and church and everybody else, everywhere else almost, to seek after love, to seek after acceptance, to seek after a sense of validation or acceptance or approval or something to just make us feel whole. We have been trained that our wholeness is dependent upon somebody else. That is what codependency is. We have been trained in codependent patterns. If you can recognize that in yourself and you're like, dude, I just want to be whole within myself. I want to be confident in myself. I don't want to seek anything else. And also, I want to have whole, healthy, stable relationships. How do I do that? I will show you how to do that in my book, Be Solid, How to Go Through Hell and Come Out Whole. I have that book along with 5 other resources available at this website, framework.besolidbook.com. It's all there for just $7. There's a couple other add-ons you can get, including a one-on-one coaching session with me and a 3-part confidence course bundle. It's got 3 courses in it, all about building confidence. All of that is available at framework.besolidbook.com. Go grab it right now. I appreciate you for being a part of this episode of the Growth Farming Podcast. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Please share this episode so that more people can be grown, so that more people can grow love from within, and so that more light can be spread throughout the world. My mission is to serve and provide loving insights, loving transformation to people all over the world. Help me fulfill my mission by sharing this episode with more people. I appreciate you, I love you, and I will see you soon.